Welcome to Something to Talk About from the Bainbridge Island Senior and Community Center here on a beautiful sunny late January day. We are fortunate today to be told about HRB's independent living program by Misty Eberspecher. I knew I'd screw that up. But before we do that, let's do the uh, promotion and the land acknowledgement. Something to Talk About is sponsored by Fieldstone Communities of Bainbridge Island. Fieldstone offers assisted and independent living along with a memory care community located on their beautiful Rolling Bay campus. They also include day stay and respite care programs. Call 206 594 1010. Ask for Celia or Jamie. Check out their website at fieldstonecommunities.com or go by for a tour today. Also, we would like to acknowledge that we meet on the ancestral homeland of the Squamish people, the people of the clear salt water. The Squamish have lived on the water of the Salish Sea since time immemorial. We honor them and are learning from their stewardship of these lands and waters. Now, Misty Eberspecher from Housing Resources Bainbridge will outline the program she directs to support older adults, particularly people with disabilities, and those coming home to rehab to maintain their independence at home. To learn about home modifications at HRB can help with. Based on income, services are available at no cost and on a fee for services basis. So welcome, Misty. Thank you for doing this for us.
Of
We
course.
have
Thank you for having me.
couple of our stalwart regulars are here today, and we are certainly interested and excited to hear what you have to tell us. Tell us about HRB and what we're going to hear today.
Thank you. Yes. So we'll be discussing fall prevention and some tips and tricks that we all can do in our homes to help us stay safe and to age in place well. It's kind of a program that that I've been doing here at HRB for a few years. It started a long time ago, but let me go ahead and share my screen here. So I'd like to ask warm-up questions when we get going. Does anyone on the call have any fears about falling? Yeah, I saw some hands. Okay. Would either of you like to share?
I've had an injury that has resulted in some forever nerve damage and a prior surgery that affected my balance. So you put all that together. If I close my eyes, my balance just really goes haywire. So it makes taking a shower, standing up in the shower, a harrowing experience. So it's just one of those ongoing things that's an issue. So I've wanted to talk to you for a while about things that we could do, contractors or people that could help us do all the bars and all the healthy things so that I feel a little more stable in the house.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm definitely sorry to hear that, but definitely I can help. So I'm glad you're on the call today, and then we can always set up a meeting. And typically what I'll do for home assessments is, come to the home and do a walkthrough. And then we talk about how to proceed from there.
Okay, great.
Yeah. All right. So we're just going to talk about kind of an overview. So 1 in 3 older Americans has a fall every year. And 1 out of 5 of these falls causes serious injury, as some of you may know, sometimes such as broken bones or head injury. Further, each year, 2.5 million older people are treated in emergency rooms. And falls are the leading cause of both fatal and non-fatal injuries for those aged 65 and up. Falls can result in hip fractures, broken bones, and head injuries. And even falls without a major injury can cause you to become fearful, like you said, or even depressed and making it hard to stay active, which is definitely something that we want to try and avoid. But often falls that even are serious, they're also preventable. So we're going to talk about that as well. So just a couple Washington State statistics that I like to go over is, according to the CDC, over 31% of adults over 65 experienced a fall in 2020, and these are Washington State only statistics. 98,000 EMS fall-related calls for adults 65 years and older in 2022. So, as you can see, that's a lot. We have over 26% of the population on Bainbridge, that is, of that 65 and older age group. So, that is also quite a lot, and it's just rising and rising every year. So, in 2022, over 89,000 residents over 65 visited the ER due to a fall, and 52% of all injury-related deaths for adults age 65 and older were due to unintentional falls. So things that could have been avoided. So when you look at those statistics, just Washington State alone, it's really scary. And I'm trying to, as most of you know, trying to do what I can to help prevent those falls. So does anybody have any questions or comments on that yet? Are we good? Okay.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
I'd ask what
Sure.
the statistics, do they, has there been a change over time, or do you know whether these are going up or down, or do you know of any?
Yeah, they're definitely increasing. These statistics are the most recent ones available as of yesterday on the CDC website. But we know that these types of things increase basically every year. From previous data that we've looked at, it depends on how much of an increase, but it's always increasing. And the fact alone that our island is over 26, I think it's more almost like 27.5% now of those 65 and older. So it's just a matter of increasement and increase, as the time goes on. So yeah.
So are most of these falls in the home, or are they?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
These
Yeah.
are all in the home.
Most of them, yeah. Not every single one, but most of them, yes.
You anticipated the next slide there. There it is.
Yes, so over half of all falls do take place at home. But the good news is there's many simple and inexpensive ways that we can make our homes safer. And today we're going to talk about some of those things that you can do on your own, but also many things that I can assist you with in one way or another. I do want to just make you aware that if there is a specific medical condition, you may or may not already be in contact with a physical therapist or an occupational therapist. So if they are able to tailor any of those needs to your condition, then you'll want to, reach out to them. I am not medically trained, but I am trained to, be a certified aging in place specialist. So I can provide you with the assessments. And then, as always, you can ask me any questions and I'm happy to answer what I can and then suggest, an OT or a PT as needed as well. So the first thing we're going to talk about is obstructed pathways. Most of us have specific traffic patterns that we use in our home, how we enter our home, how we exit our home, how we get to our couch, how we get to our kitchen. So we want to make sure that those pathways that we normally use or typically use are clear of clutter, always. So we're always making sure that our rugs are secure, that our cords are not in the way. Because if you do, for some reason, have to walk through that path that you take all the time, and the light won't come on or the power's out, right? You know that there's not going to be a cord in your way or there's not a slippery rug that you have to be concerned about. And those types of things just increase our anxiety just in a natural way, to make that fear come through, right? That I could have a fall if I walk that way. So we want to avoid that at all costs. So by removing all those risks, then we just know in our mind that it's a safe safe passage. And then of course, if you do use a mobility device like a cane or a walker or wheelchair, you want to try the best you can. Obviously, some homes cannot accommodate this, but try for at least 36 inches of clear width of a pathway throughout the home. And then that'll just help with the ease of mobility as you go on your way through your home. So let's see here, first steps and handrails. So if you do have any stairs in your home, I always encourage some type of slip-proof tape or rugs, especially obviously if you have the hardwood stairs. So over here we have the image of these little carpet pads on the stairs. And then it's always a good idea if you can see this before and after photo here in the middle of the page. See how the image on the left, all the stairs are all one color and it's hard to see where exactly the step is. So by looking up or looking down from the top, this can be very deceiving. So separating the colors and adding the top, the tread one color, and then the base, which is called a riser, a different color, that helps separate the stairs. And so your eyes will tune into where the actual step is as you go, whether you're looking up or looking down. So it makes for a safer passage on those stairs. And then of course, adding the railings to both sides. I encourage this mostly because you have a good, let's say you have your left arm's broken. You can only use your right arm. So going up, you need your railing on the right side. And then coming back down, you're going to need it on the opposite side as well, right? Because you can only use your right hand. Or if you're carrying a basket of laundry or any item in one hand, you don't want to have to transfer that item over and think about that as you're trying to also step downstairs. Okay, so a little bit more on area rugs. Here you see an image of the double-sided sticky tape, which is a great option if you don't want it, you're just adamant that you can't get rid of that rug. You can always use in all four corners, so all the edges all around for saferness. You use double-sided sticky tape, and that will help the edges stay down in place. That is an option. It's obviously, if it's a slippery rug, that's not what I recommend, but if you really cannot get rid of the rug, that is an option. So of course, my first note here is remove them. So you have a smooth walkway. If you have to, then tape them down. And then the other option too is to choose rugs with heavy rubber underneath. There's some rugs that are super thin, right? And then other ones that have that rubber pad underneath. So those are going to be the better option because those will obviously also help with the edges staying down. Okay, so some tips on lighting. Some homes just don't have good lighting. And it's sometimes a case of, you know, you're in one room and it's brightly lit, maybe the kitchen, and then you're going to walk into the living room and there's no lighting in there, or there's just a really, really light lamp. The idea is to try and make your home have the same amount of light as you walk through, because your eyes are going to, you know, it's just going to be a transition for you. So it's really best if you can have the same type of lighting throughout your home. You can always use motion lights. Those will help. I have those on my stairs at home. And so every few steps that I take on my stairs, they come on and then they'll go off about 30 seconds later. They're battery operated. So even when the power's out, they work. But you can put these in closets. As you can see by the image, you can put them in a closet. You can put them under the cabinets in the kitchen for task lighting, in your trunk if you need to, really anywhere. You can stick them or you can just set them on a shelf even. I've had folks that I've worked with that will sit them on their nightstand. And so when they sit up in bed in the middle of the night, they're walking across the room to use the restroom, then the light comes on for them. So they're not having to fumble around to try and find the switch to the lamp while they're half asleep. The light will just come on when they step down and then walk across. And then when they're in the bathroom, it goes out. When they come out of the bathroom, it comes back on for them and they can make a safe passage to their bed. All right, so let's move on and talk about toilets, everyone's favorite. A couple of things you can do in the bathroom here. You can install a higher toilet for one, that's an option. But a less expensive option is adding a toilet riser, which is the first image here. And so that just clips onto your existing toilet, and then it also has the handles for safety. This option over here is more of a commode type, which some might use, say, next to their bed if they can't make it to the restroom in time in the middle of the night. But you can also use these as over the toilet to raise up the seat itself, right? So it has a higher, plus it has the nice sturdy handholds on the side, so you don't have to worry about a grab bar. It's already right there for you. So easy up, easy down, which in the long run for us, it can save on our legs. And it's just an overall good safety measure, especially if you say have just had surgery or are just having, you know, some balance issues. And these types of things, these two options, they're temporary. So if it comes a time when, you know, you no longer need it, then you can remove it if you want. Or you can keep it either way, but they're an inexpensive option to just help you be safe around the bathroom. Also adding the grab bars close to the toilet to offer assistance. It can be a good idea to use to install both a horizontal and a vertical bar. That way you have both options depending on the situation. And again, grab bars, of course, are something that I can help with. So this toilet here does look like it's a lower toilet, but it could just be the angle of the photo. But I also encourage those higher comfort height toilets, which again would be a more expensive option to totally switch out your toilet if you do have a low one. But it is also an option if you wanted to do that. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. So next we're going to talk about the shower area. So what I encourage is, as you can see in this image here, you've got a shower seat along the back wall. And not all showers are like this, and that's perfectly fine. There's accommodations that can be made in most every single option that you have. But what I like to show is the fact that there's the seat option, which is always good, and a handheld shower option here. So this is your shower head, and there's a bar here. If you can see the image, it's a slide bar. And so you can modify this shower head to either be lower for you while you're sitting, or if somebody's going to come in and stand, it can be higher. If somebody's going to help you and they're standing and you're sitting. So the shower head itself can slide up and down and come off for you. So that's a great option there. And then of course the grab bars for, you know, getting up and down and getting in and out on the side too. And then also I encourage some type of slip-proof mat for the shower and or the bathtub. This one here in the image has a bunch of suctions on the back, so it works really well and stays in place really well. This one here, it kind of feels like a little massage on your feet every time you step on it.
Mhm.
But it does work very well. Sheila's shaking her head.
Yeah. One thing, Misty,
Yeah.
in regards to the, when I fell a couple of years, 2 or 3 years ago, my daughter noticed when she was helping me at the first part of it, that I didn't have a vertical bar on my shower. And, you know, that was, so our maintenance guy put it in, and it's amazing. Just that alone is so reassuring. Just to have that, to get in and out of the mostly out of the shower. So I have a bathtub and a shower. combination, but it's amazing to me that just that one little thing make a difference.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I encourage folks to have those grab bars. Again, definitely something that my program can assist with. And it's amazing, and it's like, why not? You know, better safe than sorry, and that's what I tell everybody. It's just a grab bar, and it's for your own health and your own safety, right, Sheila?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about all these things. And like Sheila just mentioned, she's already got the grab bar. But let's try and do a quick mental check of each of your homes and see if there's anything that comes to mind that you already do have. Again, Sheila mentioned her grab bars, but what about the Clemens? Do you guys have anything that's already in place that you feel good about?
Yeah, I have a teak sort of stool that's in our shower, and I couldn't function without that. It's great.
Perfect. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Good. I'm glad you already have one of those.
Yeah, but I only have a little stubby, little horizontal grab bar that's good to hang a washcloth over.
No, it's,
Okay.
But I would need, it would be nice to have more than that. I need it.
Perfect. Okay. Well, yeah, I'd be happy to help you. And so it sounds like, especially with Sheila and the bench there that you have, Jake, it has helped a little bit, right? But you said you know, you do want to do some more alterations and see how we can make your unit safer. So that's good. That's good. Like I said here, it's better to be prepared than to risk a fall that could drastically change your life.
Yeah.
Because when you can prevent it, it's like, why not?
Well, I always tell everybody falling is not allowed. Done that.
Yep. Exactly.
You know, a beautiful, luxurious little item that I got my husband and I both for Christmas, like stocking stuffery thing, was this, I don't even know, it's like a natural sponge material. It has handles on both ends. It's impregnated with these beautiful, luxurious, lotiony, good smelling, scrubby things so you can scrub your back.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
My husband informed me, though, that all of this lovely, slippery, slidey, soapy, lotiony covers the bottom of the shower. So
Right.
that's probably out of sort of, I need to hand that off before I open mine up, because I heard that and I thought, uh-oh, that's not going to work. Because even a mat, if you've got a consistently slippery surface, those little stick-on things aren't going to like that.
Yeah, it could definitely become a challenge if it's super like not, I don't want to say slimy, but you know, if like full of lotions and product, then it definitely could cause the suctions to not hold as well. Which would then of course make it, you know, not as safe, obviously.
I think I would need to install a crane to make that work.
The only thing I can say about the ones with the suction cups on the bottom can be difficult. It can be difficult to pull that back up to take it off the base of the because I don't keep mine down on in the floor of the bathtub. I pick it up and so it can drain out. But
Right.
yeah, but to pick that up sometimes it's a little difficult because it really stuck.
Yeah, yeah, which is good in one side, right? But then it's just a little challenging to get it off sometimes. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so another thing that we can do, we'll talk about some of the programs that the wonderful senior center has here on the island. Finding a good balance and exercise program. We want to look to build our balance, our strength, and our flexibility. And we can contact the local area agency on aging for referrals also for Kitsap County. But you can also find a program here at the Senior Center. They do have the SAIL class, which is Stay Active and Independent for Life, as well as Tai Chi and yoga available. So you can check out their website for those. And then there's other multiple programs here on the island that have different yoga classes and even like Pilates or, those sorts of things. So.
Mhm.
Okay, so a few action steps here. So I encourage you to do a walkthrough, a safety assessment of your home, either by yourself or again, I'm happy to assist you with it. Always discuss all of your medications with your doctor. So if you've been prescribed a new medication, have those discussions with your doctor on side effects. Make sure that you're aware of anything that you're already taking and how it could be affected by your new medication. If for some reason your doctor's not available, you can have those conversations with your pharmacist as well. Our eyesight is huge, huge factor with prevention of falls. So you always want to make sure that you're getting your eyes checked at least once a year and that you're following through with, whatever your eye doctor recommends. And then any medications that you're on or eye drops or whatnot, making sure that there's not any side effects with those that you're unaware of.
Right.
All right, so let's see here. As a wrap up, many people do think that falls are a normal part of aging. However, the truth, of course, is that they're not. Most falls, as we know, can be prevented, and we each have the power to reduce our own risks. Exercising, managing our medications, having your vision checked, and making sure that your living environment are safer are all steps that each of us can take to prevent those falls. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up to any questions or other comments.
Yeah, could I have you explain to me, Misty, what HRB, who are you responsible with? I mean, is it a city program, a county program, a national program? Housing Resources Bainbridge is part of what?
Yeah, so Housing Resources Bainbridge is a local nonprofit here on Bainbridge Island. And we are an affordable housing nonprofit. However, my program, the Independent Living Program, is a program to assist older persons and folks with disabilities with home safety modifications. So I receive a grant from the city of Bainbridge that allows me to assist folks and households that are under a certain income limit on the island. And that's a discussion that I have, with folks, and we see if they qualify for that program. However, I can also assist folks that don't fall into that income category, still with the home assessments and kind of more of a fee for service basis, which is something that I talk to on a client basis.
And so do you have like a physical location, or do you folks go out, reach out and then they call you and you do all of your stuff on site?
Yeah, so typically how it works from my program is we do have a physical office here on the island on Erickson. And I'm happy to meet with folks in my office for the program, but typically what works best is I go out to the home and I do a home assessment. Sometimes folks may just want me to look at their bathroom or their kitchen or one part of their home. Other times I'm walking through an entire home and we're doing a full-on home inspection / assessment. So I'm looking at everything that's safety related, whether or not their front porch has any creaky steps, maybe, just some screws loose. If they have a leaky roof or they're having gutter issues. The list is quite long of things that I'm looking for, but anything home safety related that my program can assist with. And then we have a discussion of, what they're wanting to have done. And then we kind of go from there based on the home.
Great.
Yes,
I
Sheila.
just want to mention that Misty is one of our grand representatives or grand resources on our resource committee for the senior center. And she's always there. I'm always so glad. You
Thank
choked
you.
me up. You choked me up. Drink some water.
Thank you, Sheila.
Oh, Misty, you're a great addition to that committee, let me tell you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Do you
Well,
have a feeling that the people on Bainbridge are perhaps not taking advantage of resources that are available to them? And that reaching out and things like this will assist people to understand what's available?
Yes, yes. And like I said, I've been with HRB for about 3 years now. The program, however, the independent living program has been around since 2000. And so it's just an ongoing program that we have available. And I'm doing what I can to spread the word as much as possible and reach out to more and more folks and just help the island stay safe as best I can.
Misty, talk about the bird resource directory.
Yeah. So the Bainbridge Island Resource Directory is a listing online. As Sheila said, the acronym is BIRD, and there's multiple resources available to folks on the island and in Kitsap County listed on there, whether you need home care, hospital information, my services, weatherization, information for Kitsap County, Helpline House. The list goes on and on. So yeah, Bainbridge Island Resource Directory is available and multiple resources there.
Thank you.
Mhm.
so
And on the screen, I have ways that you can reach out to me. You can phone me here at HRB at 206-842-1909 extension 18. Or my email is misty@housingresourcesbi.org. And I'm really, any questions at all, nothing is a terrible question. So I'm happy to help with anything and help folks stay safe.
So I just like to put a plug in for, actively working to take care of your balance and so on. A few years ago, I was just walking down Finch Street here and turned my head, was looking around and had a little fall. And it was not a big deal, but I just picked myself up. And then I went to my physician and was trying to talk about what I could do with I thought it was because I had an injured knee from years ago, but it's always been weak that has affected my balance. And he told me to go to a physical therapist. So I went to a physical therapist, and the physical therapist uh, gave me a series of exercises that will help me maintain balance. And so I do those every morning. I mean, I stand on one leg and I do a number of other things that help me feel assured that I can maintain my balance. And when I'm working with a physical therapist, what he tells me, and this is something I've known for a while, but you can, by doing these practices, these exercises, you're actually training your brain so that you can wobble a little bit, but you know how to rebalance yourself. So a lot of falls can be prevented by actively practicing standing on one leg and standing with your legs close together and moving your head and while you've got your legs and your feet close together. But it helps train your brain so that if you do a little trip while you're walking, you don't panic and you can regain that because you've trained the brain to, adjust to these variations in your gait and your terrain. So, really taking charge of maintaining your balance, I think, is something that is good for everybody as we grow older because we tend to sit more and not do that. So
Right on.
I highly recommend, actually working on exercises that help you maintain balance.
That's
Yes. Yeah.
All great classes at BISC there's some really
Yeah, I mean,
good ones
that's
for
what
that.
yoga does and all these exercises do, but those are
Mhm.
a really great way to keep yourself healthy there and prevent falls.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, huge plug to the senior center and our physical therapists and teaching us those great balance exercises that we can be doing. And the thing, with the senior center is you have others there with you, right? And you're watching how they're doing their exercises and you have the instructor there and it's just an overall good experience and good environment. And then, you can take those home too, like you said, and have those available in your own home too, and do those on a daily basis. So yeah, strongly encourage that. Thank you for sharing.
Interestingly enough, I also found out that if I don't hydrate, my balance is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a big difference. Well, I also get cramping then too. And that's when I fell, was when I cramped up. I didn't fall against anything or other than the floor, but it was because I hadn't been hydrated. So it was interesting because I talked to my physical therapist about that, and she said, "Yeah, yep, you need to keep the water flowing."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always encourage folks to drink their daily dose of water.
Thank you. Thanks.
I will say that I had my my last physical therapy treatment just a week, two Mondays ago, for my second fall. I've had rotator falls, two falls, and one on each side. So partial tears of rotator cuffs on both shoulders now. So I was working on the shoulders, but they were also, because I have two artificial hips as well. I was given these exercises that are in my living room there with tubing, around one leg, and then you stand on one leg and you use the tubing for the other leg. And I found out that really what you're working on is not the leg that's moving the tubing, but the leg that's holding your balance while you're doing that, because you have to have a post in your hand. And it has really shown me all the tiny little muscles that are become, weakened and tired from doing that exercise. And I think it really helps a lot. So sometimes the exercise is not doing it's doing something different than what you think. So pay attention to the experts, as Jake was saying. My physical therapist, Jeff, was the one that gave me all the exercises that I'm doing right now. And I think it's helped my shoulders a lot, and it's now helping my hips and my balance too. So it's a matter of paying attention to the experts, I think.
That's excellent. Excellent.
Yes, thank you for sharing. All right, well, that concludes my presentation, unless anyone else has any comments or questions.
Thank you for doing this, Misty.
Of course, Sheila.
We certainly appreciate that, and as I mentioned to everybody knows this, is that we're creating a library of these something to talk about sessions so that people can go back and learn from them at any time in the future. So we've been recording this. Thank you for participating, everybody, and for you in particular, Misty. And with that in mind, unless there are any other comments, I will stop the recording now.